whether that's you're a musician, whether you're an actor, whatever it is, there's always going to be chances to take. There's always going to be scary, like, ooh, I'm out at the end of this branch and I'm reaching for that fruit. Can I nab it?
Yep.
Or am I going to fall?
And then you do fall, and you got to climb back up.
And it's great. And it's great.
I know. I keep trying to
because
explain
look
this.
at that. I mean, dude. I mean, look at you, dude. You broke your freaking neck, bro, and like way too soon, and came back. Look at that. I mean, it doesn't. Look at that freaking story, dude.
You broke your neck. You literally broke it.
So I ended up rupturing my C5 to C7 in my neck. I was 29 years old, and
how did you do that? Was it in the ring?
It wasn't like a one-time thing, I don't think. But I do remember in San Diego a match with Eddie Guerrero, and he hit me with a forearm uppercut, and I landed on a ladder, and the rung was right there. Ooh. And I remember hearing a really loud crack. Now, I don't think it broke there, but something went. Finish the match.
You finished the match?
Yeah, dude, I took a powerbomb off a ladder. It's not pretty to watch because my head snaps off. Now, Eddie and I are on the flight together the next day. He's got 11 stitches from me ramming him into the ladder. He looks like Quasimodo. I look like Frankenstein because I'm doing this. And we just went, what are we doing? And we were sitting beside each other on the plane. We're just like, yeah, man, but did you hear that crowd?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Because we had them. But so I wrestled for a few more months after that. And finally it got to the point where my left arm was starting to atrophy and I was in a lot of pain, more pain than usual. So they went in and they said, oh yeah, you need neck surgery. We got to fuse you. So I went in, they took a graft from my hip and put it into my spine. And then they put a titanium plate and 6 screws. Mm. So I was out for a year. I had to wait for that fusion to take. Then I came back and I wrestled for another decade. Only when I came back, now I was a bad guy. I was kind of like the bad guy in the show. And as a bad guy, your job is to bounce around for these huge good guy monsters. Mm-hmm. So I'm wrestling John Cena. I'm wrestling Dave Bautista. I'm wrestling Big Show, Undertaker, Kane. Well, the recurring theme in that is I'm the 240-pound guy that's bouncing like a ping pong ball for them, right? But I'm also the heel champion. I'm the bad guy champion. So that's my job. They got to want to see me get beat. And they do until I don't at the end. So in that time, I had ended up developing spinal stenosis, which is an narrowing of the spinal cord. It kind of chokes out your spinal cord. And I was in a lot of pain. I was world champion at the time, did WrestleMania in Atlanta. The company said, why don't you go for an MRI the next day? So I went for an MRI, go up to Charlotte, had a full day of media, had the show that night, drove to a house that I just purchased here, this house. And I get a call 2 days later, and it's from Vince McMahon. And he said, I don't know how to tell you this, but you got to retire. I was like, what? What do you mean I got to retire? I mean, I've passed all the strength tests, everything. He goes, it's to the point where you got to retire. So I was 37 at that point, and I pretty quickly had to figure out what was next, because I'm the kind of guy where I can't have too many down days, because then I start wanting to, I got to go. I got to move. I got to, I got to tap the creative vein. And it just so happens that this show called Haven, the executive producers were watching wrestling because they wanted a wrestler tie-in for their show, because SmackDown led into Haven. They saw my retirement speech, which was in no way scripted, which was in no way character. It was Adam Copeland out there with a live mic ending what he always wanted to do for his entire life, right?
Right.
So they called WWE and said, can we get that guy? Because he just made us cry. So then a week later, I'm up there, and one episode turned into 41. And then, then it became, okay, this taps the vein. It's not quite the same, but it still hits that creative vein. Yeah. And then in doing like all my own stunt scenes and things over the years, I was like, oh, and I also got a second neck surgery. So there's that too. I got the second neck surgery. They go in through the front again. They took the pressure off the cord. They put in like a rubber disc. And so I have a triple fusion now. But as I'm doing all my own
still
stunt
move
scenes
pretty good. You
I know,
shake it around. And I'm like, every time you do this, I'm like, Dude,
he
like when you just use the wood glue and you're like, God, I hope that thing works. You know,
Dude,
it's going to stick, right? That coaster is not going to work if these two halves don't go together. So I don't know.
If you point to a part on my body, I've done something to it. Like I got no labrum here. I got half a pec, so I got a divot there. I tore this tricep. This wrist is fused. I can't bend it. Metal rods in my teeth, fractured skull, ruptured groin, tore my Achilles. I don't have MCLs in my knees. Like it's just par for the course, right?
Dude, how are you still going?
I keep moving. I don't stop.
That's it. Just don't stop, huh?
Don't stop.
You look 40. What the heck?
50 this year, but I just keep moving. And I got a gym built in the house, so I have no excuse.
Dude, right.
It keeps me accountable. And also more than anything, I got to be here for my girls because we started having kids when I was 40.
Yep.
And I'm already going to be Gandalf taking them to, high school graduation. But
you're telling me, dude, I got a 6-month-old.
Oh, you are in it. Wow.
Yeah,
if you're Gandalf,
I have a 17.
Joe's going to be Nosferatu.
Yeah, I am. I have a. You're in. I have 17.
You know that old.
Yeah, I know the old guy, you idiot. I have 17, 13, and 6 months. So yeah, dude, 29,
it's a heck of
33, and 46.
A heck of a thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I have a 7-year-old and a 9-year-old, and they're my world, and I just I gotta be here for them.
Yeah, for sure.
It's I still have yet to meet my dad. And having not grown up with a father, I realize how important a father is.
Very important.
You know what I mean? But I didn't know it at the time. I didn't know it was me and my mom, and it was me and her against the world. And I never felt like I lacked for love. I mean, we were poor, but didn't lack for love. So I realize now what a father supplies. And I see it in my girls' eyes, and I see it in their when they need dad or when they need mom, and it's so important. And it's just I love being a father. It's like the best thing that I've ever been involved with, a part of. It's just
it's awesome.
It is.
It is, man. It's
and
really
I know it's
the
not
coolest
for everybody, right? And I appreciate and I respect those people that know it's not for them.
Absolutely. Because it is life-changing. It does take over every facet of your world, every decision that you make. And there's that point where there is no end to your giving. There is no end, even when you have nothing left to give. Like, if you're just standing there, and I find times, in the end of the day with all the pressure and everything that's going on, and, my Libby, who's my 13-year-old, she wants to tell me something, and, she's talking, and halfway through, I don't even know if my brain's still operating, like I'm asleep. Because I'm so exhausted, because I got so many things, just the things that just go on in life, and, work and pressures, the things. And, but yet you're standing there going like, I'm not going to miss this moment. I'm not going to miss this moment. So I'm going to be in this moment. And even if I don't remember exactly what's going on, I'm going to remember the moment, and it's crazy.
I heard a really cool analogy. This guy said, and I don't have any kids. I'm really late to the game. I want kids. I've said this before. I feel like you don't really become a man until you're a father. I mean, I know a lot of business guys who won't even hire guys who don't have kids because they want that man mentality. You have to be able to have other people's, relying on you to be able to perform. Anyway, so oh shoot, here we go again.
You forgot?
Yes.
Yeah, Matt.
Let's just say, what was I going to say?
I don't know.
Matt
this is really important. How the hell am I supposed to know what you're going to say?
Just, take a little stroll, Matt. We'll be here doing a podcast.
Really good point. Oh, I got it.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Before it goes away, let me get it out.
Sure.
Oh, whenever anybody comes in and would always say to this guy, I'm just overwhelmed. My kids. He was like, yeah, take that moment when you don't have any more moments with your kids, like you're in the end of your life or something.
Right.
You'd give anything to go back to the worst moment with them screaming and crying. You'd go back there to have that moment with your kids.
Absolutely.
Good point.
Thank you so much for watching this clip of the Brotherly Love Podcast.
And for exclusive weekly bonus content, join our Patreon right now.
That's right, there's a link in the description for that too. Thanks so much for tuning in.
Thank you.
Thanks.